Hello, and welcome to our lesson on future trends in supply chain. This segment will cover developing category strategies will become broader and more complex. In the decade ahead, companies will think differently about purchase category strategies. The overall purpose of a purchase category strategy is to maximize value to the buyer and supplier by leveraging both internal company and external supplier resources and capabilities. In the future, changes in business models, degree of outsourcing, industry structures, technologies, customer demands, environmental regulations, and other factors will change how value is defined and how external resources can help deliver it. Companies in the future will look beyond cost, quality, and delivery as purchase category strategy goals. They will increasingly look for other contributions such as innovation, risk reduction, sustainability, and cycle time reduction. For example, a food manufacturer utilized a flavoring supplier's knowledge and expertise to rationalize its own ingredient base into flavor and additive modules that provide specific taste or texture. Significant savings for the manufacturer and additional sales for the supplier were achieved, also providing for time-to-market reductions, which was critical to business success in their competitive space. Companies will increasingly use value-focused sourcing approaches to evaluate how a supplier or group of suppliers may be utilized to gain competitive advantage for categories with high business impact. Value will become better defined, and there will be greater application of total cost sourcing decision-making. There will also be increasing use of value chain mapping, data analytics to better understand industry trends, cost modeling, and scenario planning techniques to develop, evaluate, and select from purchase category strategy alternatives. Category strategy development will cover at least 3 to 5 years and will begin at new product service development with broad-based goals being established. For example, innovation, risk reduction, cost, emerging market sourcing, sustainability, collaboration, standardization, and so forth. Finally, supply networks, groups of suppliers, will become an increasing focus of purchase category strategies. The strategy consideration will be how to best utilize supplier capabilities, not only individuals, but as part of a supply network. Outsourcing will likely continue, although firms will be carefully examining and sometime rebalancing their insourcing/outsourcing patterns. As logistics costs, major customer locations and automation opportunities, lower labor content change, opportunities to modify, and sometime insource work will exist. There are a number of reasons, however, why the emphasis on outsourcing will continue. Cost reduction pressures will continue and are forcing organizations to use their productive resources most efficiently. As a result, executive management will rely on well-reasoned, using computer simulations, forecasting software, scenario planning, and what-if analysis, and data-driven insourcing/outsourcing decisions to provide a way to manage and lower costs. Outsourcing to low labor cost areas for high labor cost products, services will generally prevail. Firms will increasingly focus more on what they excel at to gain competitive advantage, along with outsourcing non-competitive activities related to both production and administration. Companies are more effectively defining their core competencies to help guide the insourcing/outsourcing decisions and will continue to do so. The need for customer responsiveness is increasingly causing companies to decide, insource/outsource, how best to achieve greater flexibility and shorter lead times for operations and new product development. Shorter cycle times, frequently, encourage greater outsourcing to firms that are more flexible and responsive to customer requirements. Wall Street recognizes and rewards firms that achieve higher return on investment. Because insourcing usually requires fixed assets and human capital, financial pressures are causing managers to closely examine insourcing/outsourcing decisions. Avoidance of increased fixed costs is motivating many firms to rely on external rather than internal physical and human assets. Globalization and lower-cost suppliers in emerging countries continues to promote outsourcing. Concluding observations. Purchase category strategies that establish goals based on both company and supply objectives are required. Those strategies, at least, include establishing the supply base, internal and external, sourcing allocations globally and to emerging markets, contracting approaches, supplier development, product service designs, complexity reduction, and physical supply chain considerations. The strategies will require continued development by highly capable global cross-functional and cross-location teams. These strategies will, in the future, focus on obtaining and creating value from and jointly with suppliers and supply networks. Value, as discussed, goes far beyond buying price alone with increasing focus on total cost, innovation, and sustainability. Category strategies will become more complex, be able to be modified as required because of changing conditions, and require both internal functional and executive engagement, including review and approval. Strategy development will become more proactive and influence supply market pricing and investment decisions. There will be greater emphasis on risk identification and mitigation using predictive approaches as part of strategy development. This is the end of this segment of our lesson. In the next segment, we shall discuss supplier management across the extended supply chain. This course is presented to you by South Europe College. Thank you for listening, and see you on our next segment.